behind me. I had no idea. Just at a stoplight. As soon as the light turned green, he lit me up, pulled me over, gave me his cell phone ticket. Gave me a cell phone ticket. I couldn't believe it. It was like $164, I think, something like that. At the time, I was actually kind of worried that I was going to get like deactivated since I had a moving violation. It's kind of unclear how they treat those with these apps. But nothing really happened except my insurance going up a little bit, which is pretty annoying. And I was sitting at a stoplight stopped, which makes it even more irritating. It's not like I was driving down the road. But whatever. Jerk cops, I guess. I'm trying to go towards the house, and I'm still getting offers here. Let's see what this is. It was a grab-up offer, like $7 or something.
Do not confuse him with the other.
That was the subway offer.
You heard, Mr. Sunshine. Find Kraft before he gets chewed on.
Don't know why the maggot munchers are here. I blame the coffee.
Anyway, I'm heading towards the house now. I'm gonna try to take a little break and shut the apps off. I'm on schedule with DoorDash tonight. $160 more than I could ask for lunch, so I'm happy.
Get to crafting without delay. His knowledge is critical to your success.
Oh, yeah. Ravenoff meets Sam. A marked improvement on Max's because she's not her.
Pick up the pace, people. We need to get to Kraft's cell before it becomes a buffet.
Yeah, that's where we stand right now.
Just read us the leg. How about your face?
Hello! Back out. 525. At Candy Cloud. It's like a specialty drink place. Like coffee drinks, like ice cream drinks. Kind of interesting. Kind of weird. I don't know how to describe it. Pretty cool place. This order here from Candy Cloud. And then I've got, where's my Buffalo Wild Wings. Buffalo Wild Wings here.
If you're done playing gangster, help us take down the boss.
Ready. Coming next one. Waiting over 30 minutes in this Buffalo Wild Wings before. But I'm gonna do it. So hopefully it's right. I'm trying to take my time so I don't have to wait while I'm sitting in there. But I'm gonna go ahead and grab this.
Any day now. Are we waiting for these rotting meat sacks to have a change of heart?
Got pick up for Talia.
Well, look at that. Did
So
someone
much.
sand down your rough edges?
Alright. 40 or so minutes later, we're at Pot Belly.
The
juicy one, $10 for less than 2 miles. Looks like it might be a hidden tip. Anything over $8 tip, they don't show you what from. I think that's to deter people from sitting around just waiting for the juicy orders. So they don't want to show you the whole tip. You know, $30 tip. Order ends up being like a $35 order. Go. I'll sit around and wait for all the $35 orders. Anyway, story. 6:19 now. The last order that you saw me do was at Candy Cloud and Buffalo Wild order, correct? $17 for 7 minutes. So I pick up the Candy Cloud order. I go to Buffalo Wild Wings directly across the street. Pick that order up. And as I'm getting back in the car, the customer from the Candy Cloud order, she had like an ice cream drink. Some sort of thing that she ordered.
Fresh starts to the order of the day.
But
But first, we're gonna find the Toffin
is
and
my
we're
ice
gonna
cream
teach him a
melting?
thing or
Like,
two
like,
about the trade.
like a
You do know the main entrance is locked up tight.
Like, I don't know, you're 7 miles away and you order ice cream.
I'm sure the doors will
Probably
be a little gentle
I
persuasion.
can't wrap my head around the fact that people and then like doing a plane when it's melted and they have something in it, which is wild to me. Whatever. So I'm just like, I didn't say anything at first that she had to deliver the Buffalo Wild Wings order because she was the second order to be delivered because she was the furthest away. So I deliver that. And once I start getting to her place, I text her back. I didn't really know what to say. I'm like, well, you're 7 miles away from the restaurant, so naturally, you know,
Incendiary.
this might be a little melted when you receive it, but it should be okay. And she's like, no, you made another stop, or whatever. Like, well, yeah, I was like, trying to be nice. Like, DoorDash or food delivery apps are busy. They give us multiple orders at once to deliver.
What's the deal with these incursions? I thought the Dark Ether was sealed
away. So I get there and I deliver to her and I
but the
apologize.
dimension is not easily contained. Perhaps a Project Janus experiment failed. Or something on the outer side could have broken through.
So I dropped off that
There is
Buffalo Wild Wings
insufficient.
order, then I had to drive like 4 miles to her place for an order that I didn't even get paid for. No tip. You don't have to tip.
Last thing we need around here is a fucking bug infestation.
You don't have to. I normally don't accept it. But
You're grounded, fucker.
Double order. It shows you the full total up front. You don't know what was tipped, you don't know how much each person tips or whatever.
You ugly freaking fuck.
Until you drop off both orders. That doesn't show you until you drop off both orders how much the tip was. So the first tip was like $12.50, and then the base pay was $5, which looks like they probably boosted the base. Normally it'd be $2.
You believe that baloney about a mystical artifact that'll return Maxis from the Dark Ether?
I'm not really that annoyed about the
so
no
long.
tip, you know, because that's the risk you take double orders. But
If Thompson wants it,
the fact that she had the
sure as
nerve
shit don't want him to have it.
to harass me about her ice cream being melted while she did the tip. And on top of that, had the nerve to like meet me at the door to accept the order, knowing they didn't tip me. Either she's just really that you stupid, or she's just a bad person. So that's that story. Blood was boiling a little bit after that. The fact that she had the nerve to like message me at the app, which means she's like watching me in the DoorDash app, which is weird that people do that. That they even allow it. That they shouldn't even allow that. Watching me. That's very
Carver owes me a beer when this is
so yeah,
over.
so that's the story for that. It's 6:23 now. 5 minutes, yeah. Pot belly order. I don't know how much I'll have to stay out, but it's 12 hours. Probably maybe 3 o'clock. This one will put me at least 192 for the day. I'll at least get to 200. So we'll check back in shortly. Alright, well, I hit my goal.
Feel like you caught your junk in a blender?
$200. I'm like right at it. Did that pot belly, $10 for 2 miles, and then I did a Chili's order, $7.50 for 3.
Now this, Fox was able to get exclusive access to ISIS elite team in the sanctuary city of Boston. Bill Malushin is there. Bill, you saw the first images of Trump's mass deportation efforts. Tell us about it.
We'll shit get wise to your shit before you never
Yeah, Ryan, good morning to you. We certainly did. In the early days of this Trump administration, ICE officials tell us they're taking what they call a first approach, meaning they're targeting the worst of the worst criminal alien offenders first. And we were given exclusive access to ICE's elite team right here in Boston as they went out into sanctuary jurisdictions and enforced immigration law.
Good morning, everyone.
It's a frigid 5 degrees in the pre-dawn hours just outside of Boston, where this team of elite ICE officers is briefing on their targets for the day.
We're going to be targeting some extremely violent offenders today.
At the moment, the officers are on the move, with eyes on their first target.
Looks like we got a little bit target vehicle coming on.
They quickly take him into custody. He's an MS-13 gang member wanted in El Salvador for aggravated murder, and he has an Interpol red notice out for his arrest.
We are targeting very violent threats to our community.
I'm not going back to Haiti.
One of those threats is this illegal alien from Haiti. ICE says he's a gang member with 17 criminal convictions in recent years.
Bro, you feel me? We'll fight him forever, bro. Thank Obama for everything that he did for me, bro.
ICE Boston quickly takes down its next targets, including this illegal alien from Brazil, who has an Interpol red notice for armed robbery. This Salvadoran illegal alien charged locally with rape and released by a sanctuary jurisdiction.
Yo, ¿cómo se llama?
And this Dominican illegal alien charged with assault with a deadly weapon and heroin trafficking. Officers also arrested this Guatemalan MS-13 gang member facing gun charges. ICE says he was released from local custody just the day before. Their detainer request was ignored because of sanctuary policies. And in a sign of shifting priorities with the new Trump administration, this man, who was in the same apartment as the target, was also arrested after ICE determined he's also in the U.S. illegally. This is what ICE calls collateral.
So you guys got your main target just now, but you got somebody else. What just happened?
So our main target was released by a sanctuary jurisdiction, not on our detainer. That person was released back into the community, and when we went to go find him, he's with somebody else who was previously removed from the United States. So he's going to go today too.
And that is exactly what Border Czar Tom Homan has warned would happen.
When we find the bad guy, he's probably with others. Others that are in the United States illegally. They may not be a criminal priority, but we're not walking away from them.
ICE Boston says they will continue to go into sanctuary jurisdictions and do their job.
Today was a good day. Today we took several threats out of our communities. Unfortunately, a lot were released by sanctuary policies, but we're here to tell Commonwealth and the rest of the country that we're going to find them whether they're released or not.
And just a short time after we wrapped up filming yesterday, ICE Boston told us they picked up 2 more targets in different parts of town away from our cameras, one of which was a previously deported Honduran illegal alien now arrested for alleged...
Now it's time for lefties losing it. Do you ever have a bad day and forget people's pronouns? Because that's exactly what happened to this teacher.
So I had a kid Monday. He said their pronouns were she, her. Then on Wednesday, yesterday, they came to me and they said, you know what? My pronouns are they, them. I want you in the class to use they, them. Okay, cool, great.
Looks like 10 pounds of death in a 5-pound bag.
First night seats, they came with because I guess it was my first night. So I go to class. Hey, is she in anyone's group? Does anyone see her name?
breakdowns over Trump's executive order on gender.
Our president has declared on the of his presidency that our country will no longer recognize any gender. As an non-binary person who lives in the United States of America, I'm a daughter.
One to long, John.
Okay, so I'm no longer a human. Inauguration day. I am enduring misery with my
Roll up, is that just recruiting?
And as long as you draw a breath, every breath you take is a rebellion. Keep on fighting because you just have to. Hail Satan, hail reason always.
Love that, absolutely love it. And can someone please check on this next person who is apparently coming to save America?
Something is throwing me off. Maybe I'm thinking too much. Blocking out all of the doors. Turn the
Actually, I've led much bigger idiots than you to the battle.
You know, Bishop, I was struck by your tone. You were so gentle and so respectful. You were very demure and very mindful. Well, look, if the view ever needs an exorcism,
Last thing you
then
need in
they
combat is
certainly know where to
uncertainty.
go. Now, look at
Here I
this
am again.
delicious demolition of a pumped up, thrown-out reporter on live TV.
First day on the job for the Trump side, an executive
About
order,
fucking time someone
the
dealt
US
me a
government only
winning hand.
recognizing two genders, male, female, they're unchangeable. You know, if elected as prime minister, is that something that you're gonna kind of walk in line
Your worst.
with, or what are
I'm
your
ranger
feelings on that
trained to
executive
fire
order?
pretty much anything.
How about other
All the magic in this joint can't fix that.
Me personally, I'm just asking more so if you're in line with what he is saying. Do you agree with what he's saying?
Sounds beautiful. And you signify nothing.
I'm not aware of any other genders, men and women, and if you have any other you want me to consider, you're welcome to tell me right now. Well, there's people there, you know, they say they're gender neutral. You are a man, yes. There are people that would say they're some gender neutral. Yeah, they say they're gender neutral.
Had me on pins and needles for a second.
Person. Is that something that you would recognize here, or at least with
Get ready for a
US
shocking
government,
revelation,
the way they're seeing it,
fuckfaces.
there's only two. I'm aware of two.
Air on the beat every day. Joining now is journalist, filmmaker, Army Horowitz. Army, thank you for joining me. Good to see you. Let's start with the legend you touched down on the Elon Musk gesture at the inauguration, which they are desperately insisting was a Nazi salute. But now best-selling author Gerald Posner, who has written books on Hitler Youth and the Nazi regime, and is very informed on this topic, has said, quote, as non-fiction authors of books about the Third Reich and co-founders of anti-Semitism Watch, a non-profit that monitors anti-Jewish hate worldwide, he's a real Nazi of fascist treasury transactions. When we watch this video,
My chances just went from none to slim. That's progress.
With all due respect to the gentleman just quoted, I don't Mika, this is so stupid. You sent me this, I'm not talking about it. This is so dumb. But we have to talk about it because when I think about it that way, I mean, basically the entire media has been making this into a thing. They're not arguing or discussing whether or not he made it on. That's enough. They're saying that he did it. That's what CNN is saying. That's what the View is saying. So all it's beyond ridiculous. I think I have some skin in the game on this thing. Okay, I'm a Jewish man. I kind of know what Nazi is. It's good Nazi radar. Okay? I know what a Nazi is and what is a Nazi. I've called them out. I've called out on this show. I've called out on my personal life and other shows. Okay. I've got Jewish friends who know Elon. Sorry, I had to drop that. They know him well, okay? It's not a Nazi. In fact, he's philo-Semitic. Ben Shapiro went to Auschwitz with Elon Musk, and the latter gave a speech against anti-Semitism. Now, the question is not whether or not he is a Nazi, because it's a dumb, stupid argument, okay?
I beat these fuckers once from behind the desk. This time, I'll do it in person.
Look, like racism, Nazi is the last resort when you have nothing else to say. All your policies have clearly failed. It's the Nazi lifeboat they have to cling to as a last resort where maybe as a Hail Mary pass, we can do something to bring momentum back to us. We'll attack. It didn't work with Donald Trump. He won the election. We got to move on to something else. Let's go to Elon Musk. That's what's happening. Look, Chris Murphy was talking to Elise Stefanik in Congress. And Chris Murphy
I could bootstrap this, but why bother? I fucking hate them.
You were here talking, obviously not a legal equivalent, but rule number one is a lawyer.
How do you say
This is similar to what we see in
craniectomy in French?
You don't have to question, you don't know how the person is answer. So when Chris Murphy asked her the question about the Nazi, again, not to ask her dumb enough. He's saying that he was doing a Nazi salute. He got demolished number of different schools, and she just ran right over school citizens. We are standing by. To evacuate. AOC, you won't call out Hamas, who slaughtered thousands of Jews today, and not 50 or 100 years ago. Today, they are killing and slaughtering Jews.
Nobody tell the Soviet Olympic team about this stuff.
It's ridiculous. Sick of it. Don't want to talk about it anymore. Let's move on.
I totally agree that hypocrisy is astounding. Now, all right, let's move on, Harvey, because finally America First is back. The Trump administration is adopting a one-flag-only policy blocking U.S. embassies and outposts from flying pride and Black Lives Matter flags.
Again, I don't know how to put a context. Okay, Frank? I don't know why this is crazy. Why are you calling out having an issue with the American flag being the only flag you're allowed to fly? The flag, by the way,
Something tells me I should not reproduce after eating this.
Okay? Coffee shop, across the street where I live, love it very much. I like most coffee shops. Very well. They end up wanting to work coffee shops, but they do. I'm sure you know about that as well. And they, during Pride Month, they are always actually, they put the Pride flag all year long.
I can do this all day. I got plenty of corpses.
I have an issue with that. And on Juneteenth, they actually fly the Juneteenth. You didn't know there was a Juneteenth flag? I learned in my coffee shop there was one. Okay, fine, so let's do that as well. You know what they don't fly on July 4th? On July 4th, the Day of Independence. They don't fly the American flag, okay? And when I asked them, why aren't you flying the American flag today? They said, what are you, some kind of racist? That was their response. Well, this is not just anti-American, right? Which it is. It's also on a level of self-hate, right? That's what you do. I want to put myself on the couch. I'm not the kind of explain one on Sky News Australia, but that's what it is. It's self-hate. And, you know, I find it so despicable that the Biden administration, which of course is flying different kind of flags, specifically said, right, the Biden administration specifically said to U.S. embassies, you could fly the BLM flag. The BLM flag was responsible for destroying over $5 billion in responsible for dozens of okay? But now we have a new president, and there's, hey, to crack down on immigration. So how important is it that this next administration actually succeeds in doing so? Yeah, I mean, it couldn't be more important. I mean, this is why the Trump administration won, right? It won on the economy, number one, and a close number two was immigration. When you let millions of people in this country, there's going to be a price to pay, and the price was this administration losing the election and Donald Trump winning. Let me see if you recognize this person, this quote. Yeah, there's nothing else I can do within my power to secure the border. Now, you may not recognize the person. I wasn't swallowing my words.
Nothing like a little upgrade to make a man feel young.
What asked why you're not securing the border.
Sorry to interrupt your miserable shit-sucking existence.
Because we have the next president doing it. He could have put troops to the border. I don't have the executive power to do it. As we all know.
Sorry, no group discounts.
He could have continued to build the wall, which he stopped doing, which now Trump will do. And more importantly, probably than all of these things, even the soldier at the border, even more important is...
Word of warning, there may be some collateral damage.
That the Trump administration used to stem the tide, telling Mexico that these people will stay on the other side of the border, and then we'll let them to come through. Today, right now, troops aren't as necessary because of that foreign policy that the Biden administration decided to flip on. Okay, this is ridiculous, and now we're showing this is why.
Turn them to pieces.
Yeah, it's start clear now. Now this is interesting. Because making a comeback, there are reports that liberal parents are now the ones actually clashing with their conservative relations over time gained significant ground in the youth vote and 1.3% men aged 18 to 44. What do you think that Trump appeals to Gen Z so much?
I don't know, and nobody really knows, right? This is actually a quirk in demographics. We all thought that the young vote was going to go to Joe Biden. It's been that way for a very long time. And there seems to be a reversal by Gen Z. I know we kept looking at Gen Z and saying, who are you people? But the truth is, Gen Z, particularly Gen Z males, are ones who may, for a long time, keep this demographic alive for the Republican Party. I find it is so delicious to watch parents get upset at their kids about their politics. Nature versus nurture. And I've always said that if you have kids, you know that nature wins, nurture loses. Nature is always what a kid is like. Those parents were democratic, on their kids for all these years. They learned a hard lesson how to lose. And yeah, apparently these kids kind of this boomerang is now happening with Gen Z.
I love it too. It is an Aussie term. It's spot on. It's so good that the younger generation now Now, speaking of the younger generation, Barron Trump appears to be following in his father, Donald Trump's footsteps. He's preparing to launch a real estate venture with two young business partners. The other like Barron is really successful after this election. He helped his father. He got him onto those podcasts. But he says he's a young entrepreneur. How big of a company has he got?
No, he's a company. I mean, right? All of these are. You want to talk about how something look at the kids. Look, not to get who they married also. It's a wonderful family. This is a family who's going to make a difference. I think they're all going to get involved in business and politics, no question about it. I think that it's a reflection on the president, reflection on his ex-wife and his current wife, how they raise his kids. They're wonderful kids. I had a chance to meet a number of them. They're great, they're smart, and
Yeah, a big, bright future ahead for Barron, but you're right, the rest of them are just as impressive. Army Horowitz, good to see you. Thanks very much for joining me on the show this evening.
Beaver requesting chopper gunner above.
Welcome to Liberty Falls. Population? Well, less than yesterday. Never been so glad to see backup arrive. Hell, I'm lucky I'm still in one piece. I need you to look for survivors. Subdue any threats. Help me save this town.
It's here! It is ripping fast, and it's $2,000 US. In exchange for your least favoriteest of kidneys, NVIDIA promises that their brand new GeForce RTX 5090 will deliver a level of performance that obliterates their only real competition. NVIDIA. More GPU cores? Boom. More VRAM and faster VRAM? Boom, boom. Enhanced RT and AI cores, wider memory bus, and PCIe Gen 5? Boom, boom, boom. On top of that, NVIDIA has packed in a deep learning super shed load of new features that I would love to tell you about, but unless NVIDIA also invented AI teeth extraction, I won't be able to. So instead, I leave this review in your capable hands. See you later. I got it. First up, graphics performance. Let's cut to the chase.
Camping this game online, I found a way to prevent you from falling into traps when you buy and sell GPU. Our sponsor Java is a legit marketplace for sports upgrades. On Java, it's always real, never fake.
Nerdy ass version.
Get right to raw gaming results. No ray tracing, no upscaling, and we're starting with 1440p. For graphically intensive games, the 5090 does start to pull away from the pack. In the gorgeous thriller Alan Wake 2, it beats the 3090 Ti by more than double, and looks great in Black Myth Wukong, beating the 4090 by 27%. Cyberpunk is another strong point compared to the previous generations, but as low as they are on the chart, it's worth noting AMD's strong performance per dollar, at least when ray tracing isn't enabled. We'll get to that later. For now, this might be obvious, but if you are a 1440p player, the 5090 is overkill with the current crop of CPUs. If you're on the latest 9800X3D, you might find that the 5090 exerts a little bit more of a commanding lead, but I think that anyone with this setup should be putting their money into a new monitor rather than a new CPU. Let's move on to 4K testing, where the CPU bottlenecks are less likely to rear their ugly heads. In Cyberpunk, the 5090 is the first card to ever crack triple digits at our Ultra preset, scoring a 30 FPS lead over the 4090. In Alan Wake 2, the story remains largely the same, offering a noticeable difference in playability compared to any previous flagship. Black Myth Wukong at cinematic settings, however, is the Everest-like summit where even the 5090 falls short of 60 FPS average. Perhaps an overclocking Sherpa could get us to the peak, but that's a subject for another day. In Red Dead Redemption 2, the 5090 does not impress, especially when you consider its price. And in F124, the 5090 continues to operate at that kind of level of performance that no one else can touch. The problem is that for all the hype, the performance bump is roughly on par with the price bump, making the 5090 look less like a truly next-generation product and more like a 4090 Super GT ZKeu26ugFYWHT54tjQo. But what's the deal? I thought that Blackwell was supposed to be the giant leap forward with all that lip metering and neural rendering and increased ray triangle intersection. What the fuck? Whoa. Alright, hold on. That's a lot of words, but to understand how they're going to impact performance, and they will, we need to understand what they mean. See, Blackwell brings so many new enhancements that NVIDIA marketing doesn't even call it a GPU architecture. No, it's called a neural rendering architecture.
Oh yeah, jackpot.
What is that? As far as we can tell, it's about equal parts genuine innovation and marketing fluff. We'll start with the innovation. Up until this point, NVIDIA's AI accelerating tensor cores could not be accessed by a graphics API like Vulkan or DirectX. But through collaboration with Microsoft, DirectX now has the Cooperative Vectors API, which means that gamers can use neural shaders. Unlike typical shaders, this allows geometry to be imbued with extra properties, but now that extra property could be a small neural network that could generate more geometry or help ease ray tracing calculation. For instance, mega geometry. This one allows for real-time generation of level of detail steps without requiring any neural networks. Think of like UE5's Nanite, which helps ease jarring LOD change effects and saves developer time, but, AI. To take advantage of these features, NVIDIA loaded the 5090
Tiny with the hardware it needs to accelerate them. It's got 5th gen tensor cores, which drastically reduces memory usage for simpler AI models that don't require high precision. As for the non-AI stuff, we get upgraded 4th gen RT cores, which now double the ray triangle intersection rate with just 75% of the memory footprint. And as for the regular old CUDA cores, well, those just don't seem to have changed very much. So far, the 5090 has managed a best case scenario of about 30% faster than its predecessor, seemingly entirely thanks to the 33% higher GPU core count. This, combined with their reuse of TSMC's 4N process node from last gen, explains why the new chip is so big and why NVIDIA had to sacrifice clock speed to keep their yields, and therefore pricing still attainable to the 1%. GDDR7, on the other hand, is kind of a big deal. It boasts double the data rate of GDDR6 while using half as much power per bit. This is in large part thanks to the shift to PAM3 signaling. PAM, short for pulse amplitude modulation, is akin to how we store data in multi-level cell flash storage. GDDR6 uses PAM4, meaning that each clock can be encoded for 4 different states rather than just 2. But it came with a big trade-off, the error rate, since the signals are so similar in amplitude that sometimes they can be hard to tell apart, especially when there's interference. PAM3 improves the situation by just trying to handle 3 states instead of 4, giving a little bit more room between each of them. This improves signal integrity, allowing GDDR7 to run at higher frequency while consuming less power to make up for the trade-offs. And let's not forget that we finally got 32 gigs of VRAM. This will be a huge jump for AI dorks. Maybe gamers someday? But there are some other cool things, like NVIDIA's new 9th gen NVENC hardware video encoders, which support higher